this edition of the Primetime Newscast in English language on Canal, the international, the Yaounde top stories. Many more acts of arson have continued in Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon. A few hours ago, gunmen said to be separatist fighters have burned some township taxis which have been circulating in the usual yellow color. I'll tell you more in this edition of Newscast. And another tragic case of drowning in the west region of Cameroon tragically lost his life while swimming. This is sacrilege caused by unknown individuals. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal de International. Many more acts of arson have continued in Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon. A few hours ago, gunmen said to be separatist fighters and security forces have been impounding cars painted blue and white on suspicion of siding with separatist fighters. More with our reporter, Saleh Sherifa, Annie Collins Annie.
No. It has been another tense day in Bamenda. 2024. Inhabitants of Ntarikon quarter have been deafened by heavy gunshots as some separatist fighters descended on the Chess Street to Ntarikon stretch of road, targeting township taxis and setting some on fire.
Well, my God.
I sleep now,
Which kind of country this? They don't leave that money on for update.
It is believed that the act is aimed at reinforcing the separatist ban on the use of yellow-color taxis in Bamenda. They have been pressing for a swap from the yellow to the blue and white color for transport vehicles. This, according to them, is a way of painting the town in the blue and white colors of the virtual Republic of Ambazonia. Out of fear, even other vehicles with assorted colors made U-turns to drive back to safer areas. On their part, security forces have been busy impounding vehicles carrying the blue and white colors, as some people had already begun using the set amber colors on their automobile machines for fear of being targeted. As it stands, transport vehicle owners in Bamenda are caught in a web of confusion, part of which started with the prefectural ban on the circulation of motorbikes.
Another tragic case of drowning in Kribi in the Ocean Division. This time around, it concerns a 22-year-old man from the known division in the west region of Cameroon who tragically lost his life while swimming in the high sea. More with our reporter, Christy Aya-Are.
Another tragic case of drowning in the town of Kribi. It was on Saturday when young Azan met his untimely demise. Report says he was enjoying the tranquil setting with his partner when the unthinkable happened. He went to parade at the beach with his woman. I don't really know what happened. They just called me that he has drowned. After an extensive search by his family members, Azan's lifeless body was discovered on Sunday. It was on Saturday, and since then, we have been looking for the body. We had to beg some swimming masters and even fishermen to help us. They are the ones who found the lifeless body. His body has been transported to the local mosques, where family and friends gather to pay their respect and participate in the traditional prayer and burial rituals. The frequency of untimely death at Kribi's beaches is alarming, and the population is called to be vigilant, especially visitors. Local authorities have issued several warnings about the dangers of swimming in certain areas of the beach where strong currents and undercurrents are prevalent. Despite this warning, incidents continue to occur.
And there was a fire outbreak this Tuesday morning at ENS Yaounde. The flames was at the computer server room of the African Institute of Mathematics Sciences situated within the building. The material damage is said to be enormous, though no human death nor casualty was registered. The cause of the fire incident is still unknown. The timely intervention of firefighters helped quench the flames, and after some cleaning around, things have returned to normal. At the time of this report, classes were back at the campus of the Higher Features Training School ENS in Yaounde. Bring you details more in our subsequent editions of Newscast. Now, hate speech is a growing concern in Cameroon. The use of terms like the Hibous and Eglisiens on the social media is following the rise, transitioning from online hostility to real-world confrontations. The Cameroon authorities' tolerance of such behavior is alarming. Experts warn of threats to national unity. This growing phenomenon is under debate as Cameroon joins the rest of the world today to observe on June, which is June 18 today, to observe to counter hate speech, which is being observed today everywhere around the world. Let's watch this story. In Cameroon, a conflict has emerged between two groups, the Hibous and Eglisiens, in quotes, owls and churchgoers. This friction, particularly intense on social media, stems from the ongoing dispute between the Cameroon Football Federation, FECAFOOT, and the Ministry of Sports. Over the past few months, these terms have taken on discriminatory connotations, escalating beyond the digital realm.
Hate speech is any kind of communication in speech, in writing, or any behavior that attacks or uses pejorative or discriminatory language with reference to a person or a group based on who they are. It may be based on their ethnicity, it may be based on their nationality, it may be based on their gender, color.
Maybe if we didn't have social media, things would not have escalated to this level. But the fact that people are happy to share, to share abuses, to share hatred messages online and even in public places, it shows that somehow the governments and political leaders have failed in the mission. So
today, the conflict-fueled language, the Hibous and Eglisien, has permuted into everyday interactions with no signs of abating.
We have hate speeches like the Zibou and the Ezibou and the Zeglisien from the FECAFOOT saga, FECAFOOT recent saga. We equally have the Anti-Sardina Brigade, Anti-Sardina from the last presidential electoral saga.
The Cameroonian authorities' permissive stance on this inflammatory rhetoric is not without serious repercussions.
So if we want to change our society, we need to go back to our values, our value system. We need to go back to some key values that that people used to look up to.
Hate speech is so damaging, and it goes a long way to destroy the national integration we have been trying to build for so many years.
These hate-fueled exchanges are also a concern for some internet users who continue to remind both the Hibous and the Eglisiens that they are ultimately all Cameroonians. And Christians of the St. Basil Chapel at a TikTok on the Yaounde 7 district living Siteve crossroads to Yumambang have been called upon to intensify prayer, cleanse the sacrilege caused unknown by unknown individuals. The information is that early Sunday morning of June 16, between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the door of the church was forced open, and the beast and the blessed sacrament for adoration was taken out of the tabernacle. For the time being, the chapel has been closed while the profanation has been reported to Catholic Church authorities as the way the Christian community have been urged to organize novena to the precious blood of Jesus at these torches of the Lord directly. This act of dissolution at the St. Basil Chapel of Etiksak is coming after the profanation of icons of the saints at the Marian Sanctuary at the Simaleng last April the 4th of 2014 in Yaounde. To tell you more, I'll come back to that in our subsequent editions of Newscast. Now, after years of distress and rehabilitation of the 2D Mangia stretch of roads has begun this June 18, 2024. The project financed by the Yaounde City Council Mayor to run for some weeks will cover drainage facilities for running water, tarring and pavements of the road alongside managing the many garbage disorder, a big relief that comes almost after 2 years. More with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamu.
The degradation of the road passing in front of the HUD market started gradually to the extent that only few cars and bikes could force way through. It continued and became impassable. Traders sell right in the middle of the road. Mud, the new order, all over. This greatly impacts sales. We can't sell. Everywhere is blocked. You buy goods, you pass the day selling nothing. The buyer have been stored in the road in such a way that no way for circulation. The start of the rehabilitation works, the long-awaited solution, especially as the HUD market in question has been under construction for about 15 years today. Cars which could not will now be able to circulate because the roads will be very open. I am very happy for what has started today. If the situation can be really changed, a great relief for access to everyone. This rehabilitation project launched this 18 on this stretch of HUD to Mangie is sponsored by the Yaounde City Council. Aspects to cover include sanitation for free circulation of running rainwater. There is equally the aspect to fight against insalubrity, garbage here and there in this zone. At the level of roadway, technical study reveals 2 sections. One will be covered with tar, the other with paves. The work on this HUD Mangie stretch is to run for some few weeks. Rehabilitation, construction, and filling of potholes, the many solutions to the road problems ongoing in Yaounde.
And after a long period without a leadership, the communities of Ginlaye and Balva in Bogo district for the Diamare division in the far north region of Cameroon have had their new leaders presided over by the senior divisional officer for the region. He emphasized the importance of peace and community harmony. More with our reporter, Saleh Sherifa.
The Balda and Ginlaye communities have ushered in a new era of leadership following a period of anticipation and vacancy. Under the stewardship of Senior Divisional Officer Jean-Marc Ekwambarga, these communities came together to honor their traditions and appoint successors to their esteemed positions within their traditional chiefdoms. This transition underscores the resilience of traditional structures in Cameroon, where leadership succession is pivotal in maintaining cultural heritage and local governance.
Thanks to all those who are there, and we are grateful. Living together, yes, and to promote the development of this village.
In Balda, Abdelaziz Yauba has taken up the revered role left vacant by the passing of his father in August 2023. His ascension marks a new chapter for the community as they look to their new leader for guidance and stability. Meanwhile, in Ginlaye, the community has welcomed a new Lawan stepping into the throne once occupied by His Majesty Bello Maigari Mohamedou.
Sa Majesté Gare Bouba, qui est désormais le nouveau Lawan de Ginlaye.
Looking ahead, the new leaders of Balda and Ginlaye are poised to guide their communities with wisdom and dedication. Their leadership promises a future that is both rooted in tradition and open to progress, ensuring a bright path forward for their people.
Thank you so much, Stanley Sharifa. And that report brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. Thanks so much for watching. But coming up next is a debrief with Lil Piejou. As for me, take another rendezvous, same time tomorrow. Good night.